diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate.
Welcome to another episode of The Diamond Consumer, the podcast where we dive deep into the sparkling world of diamonds, jewelry, and all things precious. I'm your host, Ms. Diamondz, and today we're talking about something truly special: wedding bands. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, Ms. Diamondz, isn't that just the band that goes with the engagement ring? Well, surprise! No, it's not. Don't worry, I'll clear that up because it's easy to mix up engagement rings with wedding bands. In fact, I've even had some folks think that wedding bands and engagement rings are interchangeable. Wait, what? Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a thing. But don't worry, we are here to untangle all of that confusion and explore the world of wedding bands, the different styles, their histories, and why they're such a meaningful part of the marriage process. Whether you're shopping for your own wedding band or just curious about the sparkly world of rings, this episode has something for everyone. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's jump in. Let's start with the basics, because, let's face it, it's not always clear. Engagement rings and wedding bands, they are not the same thing, my friends. Now, I know, when we talk about diamonds, both rings can involve some bling, but they serve different purposes. The engagement ring is typically given when a proposal happens. It's the ring that symbolizes the commitment you're about to make. It often has a large stone, whether it's a diamond or another precious gem, at its center, with all the sparkle and dazzle to match the excitement of the moment. The wedding band, on the other hand, is exchanged during the wedding ceremony itself. It's a symbol of the vows you've made and the commitment to each other. Typically, wedding bands are simpler and more understated than engagement rings. They don't need to compete with the engagement ring. In fact, they often complement it. Now that we've got that sorted, let's move on to the different styles of wedding bands. We're going to look at everything from plain metal bands to halfway eternity bands, and even some of those gorgeous diamond accented pieces. Each style has a story, a tradition, and a touch of flair, so let's explore some of the most popular types. First up, we have the classic, the timeless, the plain metal band. Sounds simple, right? But don't let that simplicity fool you. There's something incredibly sophisticated about a sleek, plain metal band. This style is just that. Well, plain. But it can be made in a variety of metals: gold, yellow, white, or rose, platinum, palladium, or even titanium or tungsten for a more modern, durable touch. A little history on this. Plain metal bands have been around for centuries. In ancient Egypt, rings made from reed, leather, and metals like copper and iron were used to symbolize eternal love and commitment. The shape of the ring itself, a circle, was thought to represent infinity, a love that never ends. Today, the plain band is a reflection of that eternal commitment, and it's still one of the most popular choices. The plain band is a great option for someone who doesn't want a lot of fuss, or who wants a band that won't compete with their more intricate engagement ring. It's subtle, elegant, and represents a love that stands the test of time. Now, let's move on to the halfway eternity band. This one's a little bit more glamorous than the plain band, but still very much grounded in classic elegance. A halfway eternity band features diamonds, or other stones, set halfway around the ring, leaving the back of the band plain. It's an amazing compromise for those who want the sparkle of an eternity band, but don't want the full-on commitment of a completely encrusted ring. The halfway eternity band is also a great option for comfort. Those stones on the inside of the band can sometimes cause discomfort for people who wear their rings every day. So, if you want the glamour of diamonds but a bit more practicality, this might be the choice for you. Plus, the halfway eternity band still carries the symbolism of eternity, with the diamonds representing the unbroken bond between partners, even though the band isn't entirely covered in stones. Interestingly, this style became more popular in the 1980s as a way to have the look of an eternity band without the high cost of a fully set ring. It remains a favorite today for its mix of beauty, tradition, and comfort. Before we move on though, there's another option to consider that fits between the halfway eternity band and the full eternity band: the 3/4 eternity band. This option is quite popular as it offers a great balance of sparkle and practicality. Like the halfway eternity band, a 3/4 eternity band features diamonds set around most of the ring, but not completely around the entire band. You get the sparkle and the beauty of a nearly full eternity, but with a bit more room for resizing. What's great about the 3/4 band, and the halfway eternity band too, is that it's often easier to resize later on, as compared to a full eternity band. With a full eternity band, resizing is more difficult because the diamonds or stones go all the way around, which can limit adjustments. The 3/4 band offers a nice middle ground, with plenty of bling while giving the flexibility to resize if needed. Next, we have the full eternity band. If the halfway eternity band was the less is more option, the full eternity band is the go big or go home choice. This style features diamonds or other stones set all the way around the band. Yes, all the way around. Every angle of the ring is sparkling with diamonds, giving it an incredibly luxurious look. It's often considered the ultimate symbol of eternal love because, well, the stones go all the way around. A little history on this. Eternity bands were actually a relatively modern innovation, rising in popularity in the 1960s. The symbolism, however, is ancient, as the ring represents a never-ending love and a commitment that goes beyond what the eye can see. Full eternity bands are perfect for people who want a bold statement piece. They're stunning and striking, and they pair beautifully with engagement rings that might have a bit of sparkle too. Now, let's shift gears just a little bit and talk about something that's become increasingly popular for those looking for a bit of extra sparkle and sophistication: small stone settings. When we talk about adding diamonds or gemstones into a wedding band, there's a whole array of different setting styles to choose from. And oh boy, do the options keep getting more intricate and dazzling. Let's start with the pave settings. They're one of the most popular ways to add small stones to a band. The stones in a pave setting are set very close together, often covering the entire band, with very tiny prongs or beads holding each stone in place. This creates a surface that looks like it's paved with diamonds. Now, within the pave family, there are different variations. For example, there's French pave, which is similar, but the tiny beads that hold the stones in place are slightly more refined, and the stones are set a little lower in the band. Then there's the petite pave, which is exactly what it sounds like: smaller stones and more delicate setting. The term petite reflects the size of both the stones and the overall look of the setting. Another variation is bright cut pave, where the stones are cut with a facet, so the edges are more visible. This adds even more sparkle as light bounces off those facets. A more dramatic version of this style is the U-pave, looking exactly how it sounds, where the diamonds are noticeably more visible from the side. And if you really want to go all out, there's micro-pave. This setting is made up of super tiny diamonds that create a fine, intricate layer of sparkle over the entire band. The micro setting creates a smooth, seamless look that's almost like a diamond-encrusted blanket for your finger. But let's not forget the channel setting, which is a bit different. Instead of prongs holding each stone, in a channel setting, the stones are set into a groove in the band, side by side. There's no metal between the stones, creating a continuous row of gems, often used for diamonds or other precious stones along a wedding band. And for those looking for something with a bit more edge, there's the gypsy set, which is a term that still exists in the jewelry world, despite being considered derogatory in other contexts. In a gypsy setting, the stone is set directly into the band, and the metal is used to hug the stone, with no prongs or any visible metal around the stone. It gives a very sleek, modern look and is perfect for those who want a ring that's understated yet still unique. It's important to note that bezel set stones are also quite popular in smaller diamond settings, offering a secure, protective setting that keeps the stone safe without sacrificing style. These stones are typically encased in metal and are less likely to get scratched or knocked out, making it a great option for those who live an active lifestyle. And now, let's talk about a little detail that has become very popular in recent years: engraving inside wedding bands. Adding a personal touch like a meaningful date, a special word, or even a short phrase to the inside of your wedding band is a way to make it uniquely yours. Engraving is a way to carry something deeply personal and meaningful on your finger without anyone else knowing. Some couples choose to engrave their initials, while others might choose something that represents their relationship, like a nickname or a quote. It's a beautiful tradition, and it can make your wedding band feel even more special. It's also a relatively inexpensive way to add extra meaning to your ring, making it a great option for those on a budget. So, whether you're choosing between a simple, classic metal band or a more intricate diamond accented design, the choice of small stone setting can make a huge difference in the overall look of your wedding band. The key is finding a style that speaks to you, whether it's the delicate sparkle of pave, the continuous flow of a channel set band, or the bold, modern look of a gypsy set ring. It's all about making the choice that suits your style, personality, and the life you're about to build together. Now, let's take a quick global detour, because the world's traditions around wedding bands are just as fascinating as the rings themselves. People wear their wedding bands in different ways, depending on where they're from, and it's not always on the left hand, my friends. People from all over the world have their own unique traditions when it comes to wedding rings. In some European countries, like the UK and Germany, the engagement ring is worn on the left hand, and the wedding band on the right. Meanwhile, in the US and Canada, both rings are typically worn on the left hand. And hey, in Russia and Greece, the rings are often worn on the right hand. It's a bit of a regional thing, and it's fun to think about how this symbolism of love and commitment can differ across cultures. That's it for today's episode of The Diamond Consumer. I hope you learned a little something about wedding bands, small stone settings, global traditions, and how to choose the perfect one for you. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends. I'll see you next time, where we'll be talking about more of the diamonds, jewels, and treasures that make life sparkle. Until then, stay brilliant!